Now in this video I'll share with you when I take the profit manually. If I set stop loss and take profit, I usually don't want to touch the trade, okay? Because if you touch the trade, you put a little bit of emotions, you might put a little bit of greed to take the profit earlier and miss bigger profits later on. Or if the position goes on a loss and it goes towards your stop loss, you might be in a rush to close the trade because you're afraid to lose more and you want to take just a smaller loss. However, there are times when I am closing trades manually, and you will see many examples during the course. But when I have a trade, let's stick to this example to simplify the system. If I'm looking for a long trade and I'm catching this initial move, right, because of the Forex Profit Supreme Meter at that time being the best pair to trade, I would not have the Fibonacci, right? Let's say the market is here and it starts going in my favor. I would close the trade if things change on the Forex Profit Supreme Meter. So if at that moment Euro was the strongest, but something happens on the market and Euro drops, or Yen is not the weakest anymore, I might just take the profit because that is not the best pair anymore, right? The second thing is you can set some rules as a percentage. For example, if you gain 1% in the account and you're happy with it, you can close the trade and move forward because you are aiming 10%. So if you get 10 times 1%, you will reach your target with the FTMO challenge. What else I'm looking at? Some kind of a formation like double bottom or double top. In this case, such was not formed, but if the price makes something like that, right? Like a bullish move, and then it drops downwards. So if it goes up and then starts to drop and it forms some kind of double top, this would mean that there is resistance at these levels. The buyers cannot push through, the sellers are stronger and they're pushing the price down. And if I see a lower high or a double top, I would take the profit as well. And the very same thing would apply on the other side. So if I go back to the example from today, let's say I had the confirmation from the hard time frames and I was selling the Euro Yen. Let me find it. So right in here, let's say I didn't have the Fibonacci. So at that moment, you will see that the price is going down. It went up, and at that moment, it forms a higher low. Okay, let me make that clear. This low is higher than that one, okay, which means that there is some resistance at that point. And just ignore what happened after that, because at this moment we don't know what will happen after that. But if I see a high low and I'm into the short trade, I'm on profit, I would close the trade somewhere in here and take this quick profit. Okay, so if there is some sign of support or resistance, it could be a candlestick formation such as hammering, engulfing candlesticks. I'm not going to cover all of these basics formations, but if you see some kind of reversal pattern and you're on a profit, you might want to take quick profits. So to summarize it, if I am trading this very initial move after London opens, I would take quick profits if Forex Profit Supreme Meter changes. 2, if I see some kind of reversal formation, double top, double bottom, or engulfing candlesticks, pattern formations, anything that shows that there is resistance from the top or support from the bottom. And 3, you can set rules with percentages, like if you reach 1%, if you are trading 10K and you reach $100 and you're happy with it, you can just close the trade no matter what and put that 1% in your pocket. Now, if I am using the Fibonacci because I'm missing this first move, and when I say I'm missing, I'm not usually missing the moves, but sometimes at the opening, you will not see that Euro Yen was the best pair, okay? Sometimes the market is messy and the currencies are going up and down, and it will happen that at this moment the Forex Profit Supreme meter is not showing Euro Yen as the best choice, but later it is, and you want to get into it. This is when I'm using the FIPS and I'm drawing it this way. I'm catching the very first move right in here, and let's say I'm in this point and I take a few of the retracements like 2 or 3. As I said, maximum I use 3. And then what I would target, right? The first target would be the 100, okay? I would put my take profit 3 pips above the 100 from Fibonacci, or 3 pips above that low, okay? Somewhere in here. So if it's 52, it would be at 55 right in here. So if I sell the retracement, I would target 146.55 or 3 pips above the lowest point. And why I do that, it is because obviously at that point there was a support, right? The buyers pushed and they didn't allow the price to drop further downwards, and it is very likely that it will be a support again. It might not be. In this case it wasn't, right? The price went downwards, but this is where we have the 161.80, which often is my second target. So in here I'll be selling a few times, as I said, 2 or 3 maximum. With one of it I will put a target 3 pips above the 100. So if it turns out that this level is support again, I want to put some money in my pocket, and then I would leave the other trade going forward to 161.8. Alright, and with the Fibonacci there is one more target of 261.8, this one here, but such moves don't really happen every day. And this is why I still keep an eye on the Forex Profit Supreme meter. Even if I'm on a good profit, I want to make sure I'm still in the best pair. And if Yen is still the strongest, and it is strong at the moment, and Euro is the weakest, I can stay in that trade for longer. And one last thing I do is I trail the stop loss. So let's say I went into that trade. Let's say I have placed my stop loss here, and if I had my money management right, I would move my stop loss lower right above this high only if this low was broken. Okay, this is very important basic technique when it comes to trailing stop loss, and I will explain it more during the course, but one more time, I would move my stop loss lower only if this low is broken, and I would move it here. If the price goes more in my favor, and it did pretty good, for example in this case, if I'm right in here and if I'm into the trade, I would move my stop loss here only if this low is broken, and see what happens. The price went lower, and then I would be out in here, but I'll be taking most of the move, and you can see that after that the price just went sideways. Okay guys, so these are the methods I'm using to take profit. I'm pretty much focusing on what is on the chart, what I see as supply and demand, support and resistances, and I use the Fibonacci. And of course there are so many indicators that you can use to take profit, such as RSI, MACD, and there are probably hundreds of techniques and strategies when to take profits, especially on M1 time frame, but this is what I use, and I will share with you plenty of examples during the course. If you want to combine one more time my system with anything else, you are welcome to do it. If you want to share it with me, I'll be super happy to know. And of course, if you have any questions, just let me know.